Morning. Today we're going to be looking at Project Icarus. I'm going to be looking at the print and play version of this game. This is a game for 1 to 4 players, 12 ages and above, 45 minutes to 60 minutes, considerably less if you play it the way I do, which is solo. So what do you get? You get a rulebook. I guess I should start with a description of the game. So in Project Icarus, a sun is going supernova. And as it goes supernova, it is enriching the local environment with lots of minerals on the planets. And the aim of the game is to turn up into the solar system. So we jump in on this really fantastic board and mine minerals from the different planets. That being said, the sun is going supernova, so our spaceship takes damage, and there's a time track along the bottom that keeps on moving, and if it hits 20 by the end of it, the sun goes supernova, and anyone who's left in the solar system will be toast. So the game, as print and play, comes as a 4-section board, which I have laminated, cornered and then stuck together as a foldable board. Everyone who plays the game also has to have a ship, basically a control panel, that gives information on the ship, and we'll go over that as I set up for a game, and I will do a playthrough in my second video. The game has no dice, it is card driven, and so if you don't like randomness, this could be the game for you. If you like space games, it might be the game for you as well. It comes with a whole lot of cards. And so for these cards, I have printed them, rounded the corners, and glued them onto magic cards and then sleeved them. Really nice art in this game. So let's start building what we need. So during the game, you can fly around these different orbits, and there are space stations that'll let you transition from orbits in and out of the system. And as you get further into the system and closer to the sun that is slowly going supernova, you take more damage. That being said, if you look at the board, you'll see that there's only green planets on the outside, red and green, and then yellow, red on the inside, and you get the much more richer minerals from the gold, yellow planets. And so more reward, more danger. So we'll carry on with the setup. So there's a set of different goals that you can do that determine how many minerals you need to mine to succeed, from easy through to extreme. I'm going to shuffle those up, and when I play, I often draw a couple of cards, because sometimes the easy ones are too easy and the extreme ones are too extreme. Either that you just pick one or play your way through them. You have a ship. I didn't print the ship with the print and play. I went and acquired a ship from Merchant of Venus, which is a fun ship trading game, but I don't play it very often because it takes up massive amounts of table space. So I grabbed one of the ships from there, and I'll be player 1, so I'll stick it in, warping into the system in location 1. So that's my ship. At the space stations, you get to shop for stuff, so you can improve and buy extra equipment for your ship to make your life a bit easier. Things like refreshing your shields, allowing you to fix your drill when you're drilling on the planet, and sometimes upgrade your engines. And so there's a shop. I'm going to put it here, and we have 3 items in the shop, and we can buy those when we're at a space station, and they then refresh at the end of the turn. So there's always 3 things available in the shop. One of the main mechanisms for gaining resources is drilling on the planets, and so we have a drill deck. That being said, there's a significant risk when we drill, we use up too much time, and the supernova clicks over one more space. Since I'm playing a 1-player game, I only have 4 of these. If you play with more players, you change the number of supernova cards that go in. So they just go into my drill deck. I won't won't shuffle that yet because I want to show you some supernova. I'll show you some of the draw cards in a minute. I'll just put that to the side. So the turns basically go from you move, then you can drill, shop at the space station, change orbit, and then at the end of your turn, you take damage to your shields based on how close you are to the sun, and then you move a supernova token, nice wooden block, one along this pathway. This pathway, when it hits 20 into the game, the sun blows up. Anyone that's left in, if you're playing multiplayer, will get toasted. And as you get further along this, so each one of these is a turn, unless you get a supernova token, card, and you're drilling, you get additional 1 damage here and additional 2 damage here. So if you were at, say, the inner ring, you would be taking, I think it's 3 damage per turn at the end of the turn, plus whatever you get on the supernova token. So there is a kind of a push your luck aspect to it. I'll set up my ship now because they'll help you. Oh, here it is. All the rules. Now, there's a really good rule book, but everything you really need is on the board or on the card. So once you've got an idea of the game, you don't need the rule book. You can play with everything that's here, which is really handy. So your ship is made up of engines, and your engines start at 3. You can upgrade your engines at a space station. Your shield, your drill starts at 10, and that's your drill integrity. So as you drill on different planets, it costs you to drill, and you have to keep on repairing your drill. You also have a shield, so that starts at 10, and that gets degraded. When your shield gets to 0, you've got to the end of your turn to get to a space station and repair it. Otherwise you explode, and that's game over for you. We're collecting minerals on the different colored planets. So we're collecting green, red, and the most rare, gold or yellow. And what I tend to do is I have as you play through the game, you can have freedom of movement, you can perform actions, and then you can do movements again. So each turn, your movement is determined by your engine. And so I've got a 3 engine. So what I grab is I grab 3 tokens, and I use those so I can keep a track of. So I might move once, do some drilling, move again, and it allows me to keep an idea of what I've moved within my turn. That's just what I do. So our movement is determined by our engine. So, I've got 3, I could move 1, 2, and then spend 1 to transition 3. And that would be the end of my turn. I would take 2 damage because I'm in the middle ring on my shield. And then I would move the token, supernova token, across. So that's the gist of moving. And what happens when you get on a planet, so if I go to the green planet, I would go to this chart here, which means it's going to cost me 1 integrity to drill on a green planet, 2 on a red planet, 3 on a yellow planet. If I paid my 1 integrity, I would draw a card, and I would pick up 4 green resource. Awesome. Because green planets are a lot easier to access, you can also drill multiple times. So you can drill up to 3 times on a green planet, twice on a red planet, and once on a yellow planet. You would have to pay the drilling cost each time. There's also another rule in the rule book, it's not on here, that when you drill, if you get a card you don't like, say if I was drilling for gold, say I was here and I was drilling for a yellow and I got a 0, you can pay double the amount to drill again. So on that planet, you only get 1 drill attempt. So if I wanted to try drill deeper, I'd pay another 3, and then I'd draw a second card, and that would be bad. So this is about the push your luck aspect of, do I drill a bit further? Do I drill multiple times? Because if you get a supernova card, you bounce that one. And so that's additional to the one that happens at the end of the turn. And the aim of the game is you start at a hyperspace port. You have a goal. So that would be a very bad goal, because that's a possible difficulty. You'd have to collect, what have we got, 8 yellow ones. So that would be very hard, hence impossible. If I was going to be a bit more, so if I was going to draw 2 and pick one, I'd have a choice between extreme and impossible. So to win, I would have to get in, get my quota, and then get back out to my hyperspace exit point. And so you have to leave by the way you came in. You can't just leave on anyone. The other thing you might notice is that there's red and blue arrows. They are the only ways you can transition from the rings. And so the blue ones transition you in, the red ones transition you out. Once you're within the rings, you can fly backwards and forwards as you like, and as long as you move. And so if you were on the space station, you couldn't just stay, you'd have to move off and then move back on again. And that is pretty much the overview of the game, the print to play. I'm going to probably stop this one now, and I'm going to shuffle up all the cards and start playing a game. So if you want to watch that playthrough, tune on to the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and like.